Guys, about a topic that came up with one of my notaries yesterday. I believe that was yesterday. Thought it would be a good training opportunity for everybody. So, if you all are notaries like me, notary loan signing agents specifically, legally, okay, first of all, before I go through this, let me preface by saying make sure to know what your state specific notarial laws are, okay? I'm in the state of California, and so right now I'm speaking for what the law says for us notaries here in California. And that is when you're communicating with somebody to do a notarization, notary loan signing, specifically in this situation, because you're going through so many different documents, you have to be able to communicate with the person. So if the person speaks Spanish, you need to be able to speak Spanish, okay? If the person, let me take that back, not if they speak Spanish, but if they do not understand English, let's just say they are Spanish speaking only, okay? And they do not understand English, you cannot go through that signing with them. And let's say their sister, brother, wife, child is there to translate. That cannot be. They have to understand what you're saying, and you all have to understand each other to get through that signing. If it comes up where they clearly cannot understand you, or they communicate with you up front, like let's say when you're confirming the appointment, sometimes you can call a signer and confirm an appointment, and just based on the confirmation phone call, you could tell they don't really understand what you're saying, because they speak another language. That's a red flag that you probably should not conduct that signing. And they need to have a notary that speaks their same language conduct that signing. This is coming up because you will get into situations. I had one of the notaries that works with my signing service quite a bit. They worked with a different signing service yesterday. And before I continue to go on with this story, you guys, make sure you guys like and share the live as you come in. I really appreciate it. And it really helps to get this information out to everyone. Okay. So let me continue. She did a signing with another signing service yesterday. And the signing service called her after another notary had left the signing, I believe because of the language barrier. And so she was being called to come in and complete the signing. And she was like, well, I don't speak that language, so I'm not going to be able to complete it. And this signing service owner went on to try to convince her that it was okay to complete the signing, because you really just have to point and say sign here, that there really isn't too much communication, which that's another no, okay? I don't believe in just sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. We should be giving brief descriptions of the documents. Hey, this is your compliance agreement. If the lender needs anything further from you, you need to comply. Sign and date here. This is your correction agreement, okay? This will cover any typos or clerical errors for the next 120 days. Go ahead and sign and date here. Brief descriptions, okay? You need to be able to point out what's on the closing disclosure. This is your loan amount. This is your interest rate. This is your principal and interest. This is your total with tax and insurance. These are your closing costs, cash to close if there are any. Really simple, okay? You don't just sign here, sign here, sign here. You don't do that. So this signing service owner went on to try to convince her to, although there's a language barrier, go ahead and complete the signing and just tell them to sign here. And so, of course, she wasn't comfortable with that. And she asked me my opinion on it, because she was like, this is another signing service owner who's also a notary, and she's telling me that this is what she does. So I'm just trying to get your input. Is this something that you do? And I'm like, absolutely, absolutely not. First of all, I own a signing service. So thankfully, I have notaries in my database who speak various languages, whether it's Spanish, Russian, Hindi, thankfully I have a great database. But before I had a signing service and it was just me, and I ran into these situations, I would have to pull out of the signing, hey, you'll have to reassign this to someone who speaks this language. I would always let them know, hey, this person needs someone who speaks their language. We tried and it's obvious they don't understand what I'm saying, and you will get in situations, like I said earlier, where I've called to confirm an appointment and a signer has said to me, oh, my son is here, he can translate for me. No, because I don't know what the son is telling you. The son could be telling you anything. The son could be telling you that you're getting ready to get $1 million back, and I'm just, sitting there looking dumb. So no, you have to be able to understand and communicate with the person in the same language. Okay, that is a law here in the state of California. I don't know if it varies state to state. Like I said at the beginning of this live, make sure to always know what your notarial laws are specific to your state. But here in California, we cannot conduct a loan signing or notarial act with someone and we can't understand each other. And if you find yourself working with a signing service and they're trying to, in essence, bully you to do something like this, I would, really stand, 10 toes down on what your laws are. And sometimes you have to educate the signing service owner. In this situation, the notary advised me of, the signing service owner was fully aware of what they were asking. And they just try to make the notary think that it was okay, and it's definitely not. So you guys keep that in mind. I do want to talk about, before I continue, guys, make sure to like and share the live. I really, really appreciate it. The other thing I want to talk about, there are situations that I've been in where I'll call a client to confirm and I'm talking to them. They understand me. I understand them. They speak English clearly. They can understand English clearly, but they say that they prefer someone who speaks their native tongue. That's different. I've had scenarios where I'm like, okay, I'll just reach out to somebody in my database and see if I can find somebody available who speaks your language, because that's what you're comfortable with. There's a difference between someone understanding what you're saying and you're able to get through a loan signing because they understand and they just prefer to have someone that speaks their language, and somebody who just doesn't understand. You can tell the difference, because there's been times where I've gotten to the signing and over the phone when I confirmed the appointment, there was no indication of the person not understanding me and me not understanding them. And I get to the signing and they're kind of just like, oh, do you speak Spanish or do you? And I'm just like, no, and they're like, oh, it's okay. I understand English, and, if we get through it because they understand. That situation is different than somebody just outright don't understand what you're saying at all. And you can tell the difference between the two. So please be conscious of that and aware of that, and don't let anybody talk you into doing something that is illegal and could have you end up losing your notary commission. And I honestly was disappointed to hear that a signing service owner was advising a notary to do this, because it's just like, come on now, we're that she was a notary as well. So it's like, come on, you're setting a bad example. We're supposed to be leading in a positive way, an educational way. But I'm learning more and more that some of us aren't doing that. And some of us are just trying to get the signing done by any means necessary, whether it's legal or not. And that's not the type of business that I choose to engage in, or that's not the type of business that I run. All of my signings, we're going to make sure that we do on the up and up and everything is legal. And if anything seems shady, we're walking away from it. We've had to walk away from situations that just weren't right. I have an example of that. I have a client that called me, and this is for general notary work. They needed a power of attorney completed, and I subcontracted out to one of my notaries. They get to the appointment and they're like, hey, things are a little different than what this lady told me over the phone. She told her over the phone, like, that this was a family member and she was going to be, his power of attorney. And, she needed help. The document needed to be notarized. So my notary gets there and finds out that they're not related. This is not a family member. There's a huge age disparity gap between the two parties, and the man just didn't seem quite coherent. And she's trying to get this power of attorney done so she could deed the house over, sign the house over, basically to herself. Put herself on the deed of this man's house. And so the notary called me from the appointment and was like, she texted me first, to give me the information because she didn't want to say everything, in front of the lady. So she texted me kind of like, this seems shady. I think this lady is trying to, I don't know what she's trying to do, but it don't seem right. And so, I was like, okay, just tell her, you're not going to be able to complete the signing because it just didn't seem like he was coherent. That's a whole nother ball game when you're doing power of attorney signings. You have to talk to the person that's signing over, their power, so to speak, and really verify with them that they understand what they're signing and the magnitude of it. I've read best practice is to have that conversation with them without the other person even in the room, the other person that would be getting that power, but it's kind of up to you. You kind of have to read your room. I personally have done a lot of power of attorneys, and thankfully they've all went smoothly, and the person signing is totally coherent, and they're like, yes, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm signing. And I've not had that problem personally, but like I said, my company, I sent a notary out, and they found themselves in a situation where a lady was like trying to get this power of attorney notarized, and the man wasn't quite all the way there. And she was just like, no, I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't even think this man know what he's signing. And the lady we found out lied, because when she called for help, she was saying that they were related. Like she was the daughter, I want to say. And notary gets there. They two different cultures. They two different nationalities. Like, this is not your father. Ma'am, what's going on? So walk away. Walk away from those type of situations. The language one is a big one. Like I said, you have to be able to communicate with the person that you're doing the signing in the same language. They have to understand the language that you're speaking and vice versa. You can't have a translator do a loan signing and translate. That is a no. That is illegal. Okay. Excuse me. I get people all the time that don't speak English. I'm an English speaker. I don't speak any other languages. I'm going to refer that to one of my other notaries that can speak Spanish, Russian, Chinese, whatever, Hindi, whatever language that they need. If I don't have any notaries in my database that speak their language, I'll reach out to another signing service owner I know, and we'll find someone, who speaks their native tongue. But don't try to perform those signings if you don't speak their language and try to depend on a family member there, because that happens all the time. They're like, oh, my son's here, my daughter's here, my husband's here, they can translate for me. No, you can't use a translator in the course of a signing. Don't do it. It's illegal. Okay. So yeah, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. Hope y'all doing well. I just got back into town. I've been in Houston visiting my daughter and my grandson for the last week. So getting back into my groove. I actually have a signing tomorrow on Sunday, which is I don't work on Sundays a lot. I try not to work on Sundays at all, but if I get, which I did get, one of my direct clients call and request for a signing on a Sunday, I will do it. Sometimes I subcontract them out to my other notaries, but I'm just gonna go do this with myself tomorrow. So getting back into the groove, I always like to come, it's always refreshing to come home to checks. That's what I like about this business. It's like once you get rolling, you have like a check coming in, it usually like at least once a day. So I am sitting here now and I'm going to start printing out my checks that came in while I was gone and getting those deposited. That's always the fun part of this business. I did talk to you guys about some of the not so fun part of it while I was gone. You guys have to probably go back and watch that video I posted a couple days ago. I actually took a loss, like a $50 loss on the signing. That sucked, but I gotta move on. Keep it moving, you know. It's in the past at this point. Hey lady, how you doing? In the past at this point. Make sure you guys like and share the live. I appreciate it. Hi. Next thing I want to talk about, do I have any Bay Area folks on here? Where's my Bay Area? Do I have any Bay Area notaries on here? Let me know. Anybody from the Bay? The East Bay Notary Meetup is coming up, you guys. Thank you to everybody who came to the meetup here we had in Sacramento. We really had a blast. It was interesting because I had people buy tickets, but some people that bought tickets didn't show up, which that was fine. We ended up having a great turnout with people that did come. And then I had those people that bought tickets and didn't attend, like, text me afterwards. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I couldn't make it for whatever reason. But we had a good time. Thank you. Tap it up. Yes, thank you so much. You guys like and share the live. So the next meetup is going to be in Oakland. So all you Bay Area notaries definitely come out. This is hosted by East Bay Notary Meetup. This is not my meetup, but I participate in it all the time. This is one of my colleagues that I love dearly, and we do a lot of business together. So if any of you guys are in the Bay Area and you're interested in the East Bay Notary Meetup, just DM me and I'll send you the information, because I don't have it linked in my bio. Maybe I should link hers in my bio, huh? That'll probably be easier. Actually, I'll do that before I get off this live. But if you don't see it, you can DM me as well. Hold on, you guys. But if you don't see it, you can DM me as well. Hold on, you guys. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to pop out and pop back in. I'm sitting here now. I'm gonna go through and enter all my checks that came in this last week. And I had a code come to my phone to put in to log into my account. So sorry about that. But as I was saying, if I have any Bay Area notaries on here, East Bay Notary Meetup is coming up next. That's this Sunday. No, I'm lying. Next Sunday. March 24th, you guys. And that's going to be in Oakland. So if I have any Bay Area notaries, make sure you guys come out for that. The meetups are always so great. I'm actually going to be a vendor at this meetup, which I'm really excited about. I have notary merch. This is one of my t-shirts now that I have on. And so a lot of times when I go to meetups, I do like a vendor setup where I bring out all my t-shirts and my mugs, my notary mugs, all my notary merch. And we usually do panel discussions. There might be different vendors there. Last time, who else was a vendor? I was a vendor selling my notary merch, and then Matt Miller was there. He has a book on apostilles, and he was speaking to that. So it's always great opportunities to come out. So yeah, if you guys are in the Bay Area, you can just DM me and I'll send you that information for the East Bay Notary Meetup. Because I don't think I have it linked. What else is going on? I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. So, just to recap before I get off of here, you guys, when you're conducting a loan signing, make sure that there's not a language barrier. You have to be able to communicate clearly with the person that you're conducting the signing with. You cannot use a translator. They have to understand what you're saying, okay? And make sure that you are briefly describing the document and not just saying sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. If you need help with guiding a borrower through a loan signing, I do have training on that. It's linked in my bio. Come on and join us at California Notary University. All the mock signings are there. All the sample loan packages are there. I have all types of examples on how I go through a loan signing, whether it's a buyer package, seller, refinance, whatever, you name it. Excuse me, we have examples for you. I even show you how I go through a signing pretty quickly, but still efficiently, where I'm not just telling the signer to sign here. So you guys keep rolling with your signing business with integrity, okay? And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.